Hey guys, it's RX here and welcome back to my channel. We are back at it again with another keyboard review and we are back with another HE board. So we are still seeing the rise of HE boards from small form factor to bigger layouts. So today let's take a look and listen at Epomaker's latest HE board, the G84 HE. A quick disclaimer before the video starts that the board was sent over by Epomaker for a review, but of course I'll give you guys my honest and unbiased opinion about the board. I'll place all of your links and my links on my description down below. So the G84, this isn't technically a new product from Epomaker as they already had this model before on a non-HE version that was priced around $70 and was actually considered as a very solid budget option on that compact layout. But this time they brought it back with an HE version. And just in case you are not too familiar, HE stands for Hole Effect, which basically means the board uses magnets and sensors instead of a mechanical contacts. Now the benefit here is the adjustable actuation and other features like the rapid trigger, and overall it has a faster and more precise input, which is why these are geared mainly towards gamers or gaming. So this is a pre-built HE board with an ABS plastic case, a tri-mode connectivity, and it runs on Epomaker's own HE software. Now for performance, you're getting the 0.01mm adjustable precision, the DKS support, the SOCD support, and for the pricing, it starts at $84.99 and will be available in stock this week directly at Epomaker. Now let's get into the unboxing. The packaging is the typical Epomaker box. Inside you'll find the manual, which I always suggest reading them. You also have the accessories, the USB cable, a switch and kick-up puller, and of course the board itself. So design-wise, the G84 HE is basically the same as the G84, just with an HE PCB. So it has an 80% layout, so think of it as a TKL board but more compact and squeezed in macro columns. So the look is simple, nothing too flashy. So on the bottom bezel, it has a little cherry lip style and I appreciate that. And above the arrow keys, there's a small Epomaker badge alongside that squeezed up macro column. Now up top, you'll see the toggle switch and the USB port. While on the back, there's also another badge with the adjustable feet. So the build quality is what you'd expect from a plastic case. It's very lightweight, but the weight makes it really easy to bring around and move around your desk, especially when you are gaming. Now for the pre-built options, you'll get the usual. You get a shine-through PBT keycaps, which really let the RGB pop during gaming. The legends are actually pretty nice and the texture sits somewhere between rough and smooth, so they don't feel cheap. So as for the switches, again, you're getting the dust rise magnetic switches. And I think that's all you need to know about the G84 HE. Let's now get into the sound test. If you also want to skip ahead to my thoughts and opinion, feel free to check the timestamp. And as always, please remember the sound and experience will vary depending on your build. So with that said, please enjoy the sound test on the G84 HE by Epomaker. And that was the sound test on the G84 HE. Please do let me know and what you think about them on the comment section down below. Let's have some quick discussions. Let's now talk about my full thoughts and opinion about the board. For the feel, it's pretty much what you'd expect on an HE board, a little on the stiff side, but with just enough give at the bottom out thanks to the gasket mounts. The switches also kind of plays a big role here, and honestly, it almost felt like a normal linear switches and they feel smooth and balanced, which gives the board a really nice typing feel. Now as for the sound, I'll describe it as creamy with a bit of a deepness tone to it, so creamy and thocky. The switches don't sound like the typical magnetic switches at all, and to my surprise, it almost sounds like a normal linear switches. So now the internal foams definitely help shape the sound profile here, so if you don't want a creamy or foamy sounding board, just remove the foams here. Now for the price point, $84, I would say that feels fair for what you're getting, but you need to consider the competition. There are plenty of other HE boards out there with a lower price point, but most of them sits around 60 to 65% layout. So in a way, what you're really paying here is the extra for the larger 80% layout. Personally, if I'm playing FPS games or competitive games, I tend to prefer smaller HE boards so I can freely move around my board whenever I needed to. But at the end of the day, it will come down to your preference and target use when choosing an HE board. So overall, I would say that HE boards work exactly as intended, no matter which vendor makes them. The difference mainly comes to the design, the parts, and extra features and software that brands adds on top. But at core, the HE has already proven itself when it comes to gaming, and it really does what it needs to do. The adjustable actuation is the key feature, as you can genuinely feel the effect, especially compared to normal boards where you sometimes get small delays or even mispresses. Now with HE, you can really pinpoint the actuation and get precise movement every key press. So that said, to the casual eye or for someone who just games occasionally, the difference won't feel huge. It's really the competitive players who will benefit the most from the HE board. Still, having those features in a board is always nice. Even if you're not fully using them, it's good knowing that the capability or the feature is there. And that is it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the review on the G84 HE. If you do, please don't forget to like the video. You can also share if you want, and of course, subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys on the next review. Peace.